everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. In the last episode, we hit a bit of a snag when it came to the original plot line we were on, and couldn't progress down it any further. So we moved to another plot line in which we went with Alice and Luna through the green door, which didn't lead us through the treatment center like it did for the people who went there previously, but led us through the GAULEM bay, where we uncovered what I believe, anyway, is the key to unlock the suit that Kay currently finds himself in. In this episode, we're going to leave the escape room and move on to the novel section. Lock for the door. Right now it says lock. You guys ready? I'm going to open the door. Go ahead. I'm all set. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1! I forget, the green room took the longest for them, yeah? I think so. Anyway, you found it.
Hold up, Governor.
Well, the secret file did say Cockney. Was that you, Luna?
No.
Then Alice?
You honestly think a voice that coarse could come from a throat as fine as this?
Absolutely not. Was just kind of hoping. Although, I don't know, maybe you're an impressionist. Then...
Oh, yeah, that was me, mate. Oi, over here.
Sigma, look! What is that?
Hey!
Oh, blimey, that hurts.
You okay there, dude?
Ain't right for a fellow's back to feel like this.
It's a robot.
And it's talking.
Yes, as robots do if they're programmed to do that.
With an accent.
Indeed. And according to his code based on the files, he is supposed to be Cockney, so this fits.
Can't help it, Flower. Didn't choose to talk like this, not by half.
You remind me of Yangus with your accent. The specific, what's the word? Timbre? I want to say that's the correct word.
Now, Alice, darling.
But your voice doesn't, fit your body, I feel. They might want to change that programming.
Do I rightly recollect you characterising my speech as coarse? Why, that's right cruel it is. You really think I asked for this? See, they figured they'd give us all a, what you call them, personality. Some tosser thought they'd give me this one. It ain't right, I tell you.
So, what the hell are you? Cooper. Okay. If you're a barrel maker, I'm an astronaut.
Right you are, me old son. Right you are.
I'm not your son. I mean, you're a robot.
Well, go on. Have a butchers, mate. What do I look like to you? Robot, you say?
Yeah.
Well, nearly there, but they call us GAULEMs round here.
GAULEMs, as opposed to golems. Weird.
Golem? Oh, I've heard of golems. They're sort of monsters, I guess, from Jewish folklore.
More like servants, but I guess it's basically the same principle as a robot.
They're made from clay, and they look like men. They're supposed to do whatever their master, or creator, or whatever commands them to do.
Well, aren't you a clever bird? You are, of course, correct. The golem of myth is a clay creation that moves under its own power. Our spellings are might different, though. The original blokes are spelt G-O-L-E-M, but me and me mates are G-A-U-L-E-M.
Which, I mean, it makes sense since it's an acronym, but otherwise I'd say, wow, that seems completely pointless.
That's an acronym for General Purpose Autonomous Labour Electronic Machine. The truth to tell, it's a bit rubbish when you write it out all like that. But I figure they wanted to make sure they had the GOLEM thing in there, you know? What with us being robots and all.
Yeah, no, I could see that. That makes sense. You're very polite, by the way. So... should I just call you GAULEM?
That don't seem quite kosher. After all of me mates here are golems too. I couldn't very well call all of you lot human, could I?
No, yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty, that would get confusing really fast.
What should we call you then?
Well, we've all got a product ID, and they're unique. I figure that's as good a name as any.
And your ID is?
GTM-CM-G-OLM.
Whoa!
That's way too long. We can't remember that.
Well, I mean, we can. It's just gonna be, you know, long.
What? You taking the mickey out of me?
I don't understand what that means. Is that like taking a crack? I don't know.
Never had a problem myself. Right then, let's just use the last bit, shall we?
G-O-L-M?
GAULEM.
GAULEM.
Come on, man. That's just GOLEM.
Well, I'll be buggered. Can't say I ever noticed that before. Sure, it's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
It is. Alright, GAULEM. You said Alice Darling a little bit ago,
What?
right?
A gentleman can't say something nice to a pretty young bird, eh?
No, I didn't care if you called her Darling. What I'm saying is, you called her Alice. How did you know her name?
Oh, she ain't the only one of you lot whose name I know. I know who you are, Sigma, and you too, Luna.
Huh.
I'm right familiar with all 9 of you.
Quite informed he is.
How?
Maybe this is why they took so long in this room.
You don't know?
Well, they weren't in this room, were they? You know what? Never mind. Scratch that. They were in the treatment room. I keep forgetting that.
Well, they got cameras all over this place. Well, then again, the lenses aren't much bigger than a screw. And they're all hidden away, so I suppose I can't really blame you for missing them, Now, as I was saying, there were these cameras, you see, and all of the data they record gets sent off to the mainframe in real time.
Huh. Neat.
So, I just gave the main core a ring, got those videos, and now I know everything you've done.
Cool. Then...
Does that mean...
You're Zero Junior?
I don't know about that. I mean, if he was, he'd be a bunny. Or he'd be talking all, like, cutesy and have a different voice.
Oh, blimey, are you bleeding serious?
Yeah, really.
Well, you gotta be off your box if you think I'm Young Master Zero. The Young Master is a right proper AI what supervises all the electronic bits and bobs in this place. My humble self, and those with the misfortune to be like me, are more akin to computer terminals who are merely borrowing a little bit of the central core.
Huh. So, golems are kind of like Zero Junior's servants?
No, not quite, Governor, not quite. I'd say me and me mates here are more like arms and legs, right?
Huh.
Now, you lot don't have brains in your arms and legs, do you?
No. Not biologically speaking, no.
Of course not.
Right you are, missus. It'd be all sorts of nasty if your elbows and that lumpy bit on your ankle was all packed with brains. Well, we're like your arms or legs. The golem's seat of consciousness, so to speak, ain't in the head. The fact of the matter is, it's not anywhere in the body. Which makes a fellow wonder, where is it?
In the mainframe?
Spot on. So that part of me what thinks is in the mainframe. Everything this here body sees and hears and what have you, that all gets sent back there. Then the mainframe does some sort of computery jiggery pokery and comes up with some decisions, and those decisions beget commands.
Ah, yes, jiggery pokery, of course.
And those commands are sent over the wireless like boop, 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 and eventually my body picks them up.
Yes, of course. That is the scientific terminology, the boop boop boops and the jiggery pokery.
Finally, those commands cause actions what move the various bits in my body. That's why this thing's like a computer terminal, you see. The body's just an output device of sorts. If we were talking about one of them personal computers here, you could say a golem's kind of like a monitor, eh?
Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Then wouldn't that make you part of Zero Junior?
Well, I suppose you could say that. What with us sharing the mainframe and all. But I don't know shit all about this game he's running.
I don't know whether that puts us... Does that mean we can trust you? Does that mean we can't trust you?
That part of the mainframe's locked away from the rest of us. I'm an independent core. Zero and I are two different blokes. You recollect what GAULEM stands for, huh?
Autonomous was in there.
I'm autonomous.
But if that's the case, your hands and feet analogy doesn't really make sense. Analogy, that's what it was. Analogy. I've used the word. I haven't technically seen it spelled out a lot. My arms and legs aren't autonomous. They don't just move on their own.
You sure, Governor? I watched you cross your arms just now.
Huh?
And now you're frowning and your forehead's getting all wrinkly. Do you do these things on purpose?
Yes? No? It's complicated.
Well, when you crossed your arms, were you thinking, right then, let's cross them, shall we? Curl on down then, mouth. Oh, and eyebrows. I'd be much obliged if you'd squeeze in a bit. There's a good pair of blokes. That's what you was thinking, innit? No? Didn't reckon so. I figured you did all of that subconsciously. Ain't no man on earth who says to himself, feeling a mite nervous, I'll just twitch me leg around a bit, you know?
That would be pretty funny. Especially if he, thought out loud.
Who's thinking real hard about something and says to themselves, well, think I'll just give the old loaf a scratch, that'll help. How's about when you reach for your tea? When you turn a page in your book? Or what about when your eyes just go straight for the pear on that bird you fancy? Yeah, the list goes on, me chums. But all of those things are your subconscious at work. Now, true, when part of your body does something, it's because your brain said so. But that don't mean your conscious mind is involved. Fact is, it can't be. If your brain had to deal with all the piddly bits of living, it'd make you balmy.
I don't know what balmy means, but I'm pretty sure he's correct.
That's how us golems and the young master get along. You got it all sorted now, chums?
Then you're saying that Zero Junior is the central part of the mainframe, and the golems are like his hands and feet?
That do all of the work of setting shit up, I guess.
Righto!
So, again, I don't know where that puts us exactly. On one hand, you could say we should be wary of them because they are part of Zero Junior, but at the same time, we have the subconscious-conscious divide, where we might be able to trust him because he's his own unique person. But he's technically working for Zero Junior?
Blimey. Guess I shouldn't be talking about such heavy rubbish, eh? My shoulders are all stiff.
And he can feel pain. You're a robot. How can your shoulders get stiff? I mean, aren't they always?
And you said your back hurt earlier. Are you just messing with us?
Yes, I did. And no, I ain't. Me back is a right mess, it is. Last maintenance check, they just left me here.
Wow, that's rude of them.
I've been on this bed here for years. The lubricant for me joints is all gummed up. Every time I move, it hurts.
But why did you wake up again after all this time?
Why do you think, Love?
Because I pressed the button on the table?
'Cause you lot turned me on is why. Especially that other missus over there.
Huh. Oh yeah, that button on top of the safe.
Right you are, Governor.
Can you come with us then? The others need to see this.
I mean, do they?
No, I can't, and more's a pity. I can only go as far as this cable here will let me.
I see.
I've got internal batteries, but they're knackered. As a matter of fact, that's why I was here for maintenance in the first place. The same goes for these other blokes too. Of course, they ain't connected to a power cable like I am, so they aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Are they conscious? Because that must be a nightmare. Just sitting there, unable to do anything. Basically being a glorified puzzle solution. I see. So, you aren't going to answer my question?
What question is that?
I asked you how your shoulders can get stiff if you're a robot.
Right, so you did. Not sure why you've got to bug up your arse about that particular issue, though.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not really important, but I'm just curious, I suppose.
Curious, are you? Well, that's a good word, that is. A good, powerful word. A kind of word that will set any robot's heart to flutter. Let's get you sorted then, shall we? Just lend me your lords and peers for a tick.
Okay.
So, how can a robot get stiff shoulders? And what does pain mean to a robot? Tell me, Guff, you ever heard of the Chinese room?
Yes, I read a file on it in the safe. Without waiting for an answer, GAULEM launched into his explanation. Somewhere a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. Actually, I should do the Cockney accent. I apologize to anyone British. Or in regions where... Because it's not just England where this accent would be, right? Anyway, moving on. Somewhere a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room. The door of the room has a slot that a number of Chinese people outside the room can use to slide slips of paper to the girl. On the pieces of paper are questions written, naturally, in Chinese. Unfortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. But then, how could she? She's never learned Chinese. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never even heard of it. So for this unfortunate young lady, each note looks like nothing more than a bunch of strange symbols. Before she was locked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received, and slip that answer back through the slot. Once the Chinese questions began to show up, however, she finds herself at a loss. Oh dear, she says to herself. Why, I can't read these at all. Whatever am I to do? It is at that moment that she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers that they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation on what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these? The questions keep coming. More and more and more of them. She finds a set of characters that correspond to the set of characters on the paper, and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of here. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here they give us some twice-cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a reggae dancer. When was your first kiss? When I was 14. He was a grade ahead of me in school. What color underwear are you wearing? Black. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? Beat the stuffing out of whoever's sending me these questions with the pan you cooked that twice-cooked pork in. All of these questions were written in Chinese. And the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrasebook onto the slips of paper, with no idea what any of it meant. Incidentally, she doesn't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she's never even kissed a boy. Although, she's wearing white underwear. Or also, she's wearing white underwear. Anyway!
Yes?
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty? Or why we need to know what color underwear she's wearing?
Can't say there is. This tickles me fancy, I guess. But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story is, isn't it?
Exactly! I mean, it's a fair point.
What?
What?
Well, now this is awkward.
Right. Well, what I wanted to say was this. All them Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books what she had. So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese just like them. You see? After all, far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinway with one of their countrymen.
Or in this case, country women, but... Okay. Interesting, but what does that have to do with your shoulders? Or a robot feeling pain?
You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot of bother. Well, hold up, mate, this ain't right. We keep this up and we're buggered. If things go really pear-shaped, we'll be brown bread. So says the central computer to itself, seeing that things are a bit bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from this unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wireless. And my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing.
Okay, so it's, again, with the body analogy, similar to nerves telling the brain, or the brain telling the body, ow, I'm in pain. Fascinating.
It's the same, innit? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying the robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
Use your loaf, missy. You listen to a word I said. A human feels pain when you do something you shouldn't, like sit your bum down on a tack, right?
Right.
Same thing for us robots. If you feel like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot. Forget all about that mainframe and signal bollocks, and us golems ain't that different from the bird in the room. So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same, just without all the electronic-y boning, huh?
Well, given the fact these robots are pretty advanced, it's possible that they have the same ability to match patterns that humans do. That's the real difference between humans and robots. Actually, we could test that. We could give him a paradox and see if he explodes from it. Because a robot can't understand that a paradox can't be solved, and will keep trying to solve it in an internal loop until it runs its systems. A human will realize, oh well, this is an unsolvable problem, and move on.
What if, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain? Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but as far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, innit? If you're actually a thinking creature, or if you're just some kind of language processing machine. All what matters is if the person next to you does what a human ought. Looks like a person, acts like a person, and talks like a person, then it's probably a person.
Yeah, no, fair point.
You want to live a normal life? That's all you need to know.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Lay it on me, Governor.
Why'd you stop us?
Ah, right you are, mate. Right you are. Got so carried away I near forgot. Haven't seen anyone for yonks, and I got a mighty excited is all.
Ugh, just spit it out.
Rude, but understandable.
Right. Well, there was something I wanted to tell you lot.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts at the moment, but I ain't really supposed to. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here. Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons is because we are a bit like skeletons. There's this special artificial biological tissue what's called ABT.
Right, yeah, I read about that.
When a golem's all new and shiny, they've got a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, it does. Even feels like real skin, with pores, a little bit of hair, and a few pimples, scars and the like. Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you. See, right in the middle
Command violation.
What?
Rogue processes detected. Product ID GTMCMGOLM.
Uh-oh.
Executing emergency deactivation.
No, quick, tell us the thing you were going to tell us before the system shuts you down!
Unit GTMCMGOLM. Now inactive.
Aw, I like that guy.
No other rogue processes detected in additional GAULEM platforms. Returning to surveillance mode.
Did Zero just shut him down?
It looks like it.
Damn it!
I wonder what he was trying to tell us.
See, right in the middle of...
Right in the middle of what?
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Fuck!
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Well, shit. What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Shit! Why would they do that?
We have to hurry.
Right, let's go! Warehouse A. We pushed through the magenta door and ran into the warehouse. But with that, I think we're going to end this episode here. In the next episode, we'll keep on with our current timeline and see what happens from here. Where are we right now? Right there before our AB choice. One choice ends things very quickly, the other ends kind of abruptly. But hey, we'll worry about that in the next episode. See you guys then.